when you ask the question, who are you? There's so many answers to that question. Who are you? I'm a son to two glorious parents. And I feel very privileged that they're still together, because I know that's not the same for everybody. When I was at school, I volunteered with a group that were working with Down syndrome young people, and I would do playing with them, reading with them, stuff like that. I stacked shelves in Tesco's. I've been a medical doctor. I did 8 years in hospital. People often say, oh, you're a GP. No. I was psychotic enough to work in hospitals. I was in Essex teaching in schools, sexual health, mental health, drug and alcohol abuse. During that season, I was asked to run a youth work in a church. That's where I did the creative arts side, video production, graphic design suites, all sorts of things. And then we had rows of old PCs where we put Minecraft on it and they played on that. And I just created a space for young people to just learn and be and socialize. The one thing our education doesn't help with is it frames young people into that listening space. Until you've reached this point, you're not capable of. And as soon as we tell somebody that they're not capable of something, God help us if they believe us. I was asked if I would be ordained because we had quite a lot of young people coming. So I ended up with an ordination. I took a church on in Scotland. That was an interesting journey. And during that season there, I was doing a lot to try and help engage with the needs in the community. My journey then led to London, where I spent a couple of years serving as a minister in a bigger church there. And then I was asked to come here and do the YMCA. It's the first time I've ever lived anywhere where I'm near the water. And I like the water. I find it calming. I'm president of Dorset Chamber of Commerce. And I often think, how the heck did I end up like that one? And that really, for me, is about helping the businesses, which helps the local economy, which helps jobs, which helps families to feed each other and those sorts of things. Supporting the local businesses where I can, but also helping businesses think about the good in the community and how can they be a force for good in the community. In the same way that I run the YMCA on a similar kind of ethos of how do we serve others with what we've got. I find it absolutely fascinating. Either this is all one giant sneeze, or there's purpose to it all. What why is attached to everything I'm doing. I'm an ordained minister, and I was asked this week, oh, I bet you've got the uniform. I'm like, no, this is the uniform. And no, like the collar. No, I don't have the collar. And so people go, oh, so you're not religious. But then the flip of that is there are other definitions of religious. So one of them, which is actually a biblical definition of religious, is you look after the widow and you look after the orphan. So if religious is caring for the most broken, the most vulnerable, the most impoverished, and the most in need of somebody to come alongside and lift them, if that's being religious, then I would hope I'm religious. I like the key. I mean, it's historic. I see myself as part of a bigger story, just sitting there. I like sitting and having a coffee and looking at the boats and hearing the birds. I like the bustle of life that comes through this area. And there is a lot of humanity that just walks past that Poole quay. It's probably my favorite place in Poole. All of life is a gift. The breath I take now is a gift. And I've seen this from my hospital days where people were taken in a moment. And the trauma that I've seen through some of that. And here we sit, appreciating one another's company and this beautiful life that we all have, with all the trimmings that it comes with, great people around us. We live in a fantastic community here in Poole with some wonderful families and people that are hardworking and people that care about their community and want to nurture the environment we sit in. And we're surrounded by the majestic aspects of humanity and all that means. Who am I? One day I'm going to be the person that's in need of help. One day I'm going to be the person that is wheeled into the room if you look at my CV, it's somebody that's never really made their mind up what they want to be when they grow up. But actually, forgive me for putting the Jesus thing in there, in the sense of I know what the impact that has on people's psyches when they hear it. But I want to be like him when I grow up. And I'm 50 this year. And I would still use that phrase because I have a lot to learn about how to cherish and serve the people around me, and how to forgive better, and how to be kind, and how to be happy, and how to be joyful, and how to be at peace, and how to be patient. And all of those things, I have a lot to learn on that. And I think the who am I is probably all of those things and none of them yet. I'm Gareth Sherwood, and I have the privilege of living in Poole